Well, good morning or afternoon, depending upon what part of the country you're in. Today, this is our AVK Tailgate Talk coming to you live from our Minden, Nevada factory.
Very live.
Where today, my name is Mark Tompkins. We have Kent Culbertson, our moderator, along with John Wilber, our engineer. And we're going to discuss gate valves versus butterfly valves. I guess we'll start off, Kent.
No, I get to start off.
Okay, John.
Kent,
Yes.
if you have space restrictions or tight piping, what should you use, a butterfly valve or a gate valve?
I think a butterfly valve, primarily it's a smaller footprint, and in a treatment plant, if you've got real tight quarters, flange by flange, it's a nice solution, easy to pull in and out, and doesn't take up much space. All right, fair enough. So John, now it's my turn.
All right.
So how does a butterfly valve work?
How does a butterfly valve work? Well, it's got the central disc, and that disc opens and closes. And when that disc closes, it compresses the rubber around the seat of the butterfly valve. And the butterfly valve disc has to compress the rubber enough so that the 250 psi pressure or the 150 psi pressure won't overcome that compression and start leaking. Whereas a gate valve, on the other hand, also compresses the rubber but once it's closed, the water pressure will push it up against the seats and it will help it seal as well. But butterfly valves don't have that advantage.
Okay, good answer. So Mark, why would somebody want an AVK butterfly valve versus brand X?
Well, basically, we've built in some features with the AVK butterfly on our MJ, our Series A16, our smaller butterfly valves from up to 24 inch. We've actually increased the depth of the bell. So if you're inserting PE pipe, you don't actually have to bevel the pipe. The gate valve will open and close very easily. That's a very big advantage for AVK.
Okay. And we were talking about this a little bit this morning. So this will be one I'll ask John Wilber. In a pump house, you don't want this question?
Oh, good.
Okay.
I'll wing it.
All right, you'll wing it. In a pump house with tight confines and say elbows, normally a gate valve will be 3 times diameter downstream.
Okay.
What about a butterfly valve?
Yeah, so if you have elbows or pumps or whatever else that might be causing turbulence in your pipeline, if you had a gate valve 3 pipe diameters downstream, you're probably okay. But for a butterfly valve, you probably want to be around 5 pipe diameters downstream so you can reduce the turbulence. And you don't have to worry about your disc fluttering so much from the turbulence caused by the elbow or the pumps.
All right.
Sometimes you can, if you do have fluttering, you can rotate your butterfly valve 90 degrees and that'll remove the disc flutter. But you still want to be 5 pipe diameters downstream.
Okay. Let's see, we'll move on. How does a gate valve work in comparison to a butterfly valve?
I already answered that question, but a gate valve, you twist the stem and the wedge lowers down around the top edge of the wedge. You've got compression against the seat, and the bottom wedge, you just got compression of the rubber at the bottom of the butterfly valve, or the bottom of the gate valve. So when you tighten that down, you compress it as much as you want. Put on an AVK gate valve, you can put up 600-700 foot-pounds of torque on it to get to the seat. And on a butterfly valve, once it's closed, it's closed. You cannot tighten it anymore. That was kind of a bad answer, but I did the best I could.
Good answer. Mark, do you want to take a shot at AVK's size range on butterfly valves?
Basically, from 3 to 48 inches. We have our Series A16, which covers this. Actually, 4 inches to 24, and our 766, which actually fits also at a 24-inch double eccentric type butterfly valve up to 48 inch. Basically in configurations MJ by MJ, MJ by flange, flange by flange,
And wafer
for the 816.
Okay, good stuff. And then butterfly valves have always had stainless steel stems. And what, John, would you say the primary reason for that would be? And AVK's gate valves also have always had stainless stems. Kind of explain that a little bit, if you would.
The reason butterfly valves have stainless steel stems is because for larger sizes, it can take quite a bit of torque to get a butterfly valve to close and to seat. For a gate valve, bronze stems were used for a while, and it doesn't take as much torque to get a gate valve to close as it does a butterfly valve. So you could have a little bit lower strength material. AVK realized that one of the principal problems gate valves have is that the stems would break, so we solved that problem using a stainless steel stem. So on a 6-inch gate valve, for example, you can put excess of 1,000 foot-pounds of torque on a 6-inch gate valve and it'll be okay. AVK gate valve.
And kind of a side benefit, since the AVK valves have always had, gate valves have always had the stainless steel stem, they've always met NSF 372 for lead-free.
That's right.
So good point. Mark, do you want to take a shot at butterfly valves first became popular in the 1930s? About what year did AVK come out with the resilient seat gate valve Niels Kier invented?
Our founder, Niels Kier, he invented the first resilient seated gate valve in 1971.
Yep.
And after that, people had to actually license our technology for years because of that.
Okay.
Hey,
Ian,
Kent,
any questions?
yeah, Kent, we do. Does, Dave asks, does AVK butterfly valve have a 90-degree stop?
John.
Yes, it does. It has a stop in the open and closed position, and it is 90-degree stop.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Any other questions at this point, Ian? Nope.
No, not yet.
All right. So gate valves are kind of the most common valve in distribution systems at this point. Do you see butterfly valves gaining any of that market share?
No, it's interesting. AVK has been making resilient seated gate valves since the 1970s. And I do believe AVK is the largest resilient seated gate valve manufacturer in the world. Surprisingly, though, AVK now actually manufactures about the same number of butterfly valves as we do gate valves worldwide. So I think maybe eventually butterfly valves may supplant gate valves, but we'll have to see what happens. Butterfly valves are nice if you got space restrictions and they're lightweight. So, 16 inches and larger, people like to use butterfly valves. But for distribution systems, up to 16 inches, gate valves are still the preferred valve.
There's a lot of that because of cost. Normally, I noticed in a lot of specifications, up to 16-inch valves, it's normally resilient seated gate valves or spec. But after that, the larger the size, it normally goes to butterflies. Is that really a case of cost?
That is a case of cost. Butterfly valves in larger sizes are less expensive than gate valves.
And obviously you'll see you can't pig a butterfly valve, but we do see specs starting to gravitate in some of the larger utilities. 12-inch and 16-inch specs will even call for butterfly valves now instead of gates. So.
Which brings up a good point. The reason you can't pig a butterfly valve is because you have that disc in the waterway.
Mm-hmm.
So the head loss is quite a bit higher on a butterfly valve as opposed to a gate valve. As a matter of fact, the head loss is 10 times higher for a butterfly valve. So if you want to reduce your pumping costs, save on electricity in your well houses or in your pumps, the best thing to do is use a gate valve.
Yep. And so basically we were talking earlier, if you had a gate valve, and I know we have a utility watching today that has some large diameter projects coming up. Even on a larger diameter, you could probably pay for the gate valve on the savings for pumping costs.
You could.
Yep. Okay. Well, this has been a bit of a short tailgate talk today, but okay. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you do have any questions in the future, definitely look up AVK's YouTube or, feel free to contact your territory manager. Anything else, Mark?
I believe that's it. We appreciate you joining us from our facility in Minden.
Thank you.